Good afternoon, my name is Ashley Tampa, and I'm doing the definition speech today. And as my audience, I have Brian Woodall and Miss Cindy Woodall. And I will now show you my card. I'll begin my speech. What would a story be without an antagonist or a protagonist? Would there even be a story? Since Greek theater, these two terms have been used constantly. And I know most of you have learned these terms either in middle school or high school, and if you're like me, probably got them confused or thought they were similar. In reality, these two terms are very different. In my speech today, I will be using fiction writing by Jenny Winhart and Antagonist and Protagonist by Alicia Moreau as my sources. Jenny Winhart describes both of these terms as one, the antagonist in a work of fiction is the character who opposes the hero or the protagonist, while the antagonist provides the story's conflict. A protagonist is the main character who is usually displayed as a hero or heroine. Alicia Moreau describes this term coming from the Greek word protagonistes, which means or combatant or the leading character in a play. Protagonist usually has the same characteristics, which are brave, handsome, smart, strong, determined, and usually has some type of quest to complete. Well, many of you may know protagonists throughout stories you've heard, movies you've seen, and books you've read. An example of a good protagonist would be Odysseus. Odysseus was from the Iliad and the Odyssey, written by Homer, and was a hero on a quest. He fought 10 years in the Trojan War, and then it took him 10 years to finally complete his quest and arrive home. On his quest, he faced many antagonists, which included the gods, oceans, and monsters. An antagonist would be the opposing force of the protagonist. Alicia Moreau describes the antagonist coming from the Greek word antagonistes, which means the opponent, competitor, or rival. Without the antagonist, there would be no conflict or struggle. Unlike the protagonist, there are no set characteristics for the antagonist. The antagonists vary in strength, intelligence, and on motives. A great example of an antagonist would be the Joker from Batman. These two characters have constant conflict throughout because the Joker commits crimes, murders, and felonies. The Batman, being the protagonist, has taken the place to protect the city and guard the people from evil, which would be the Joker, the antagonist. Without these two terms, characters and stories would not be the same. They create conflict, drama, the storyline, in all of these stories. These two terms are the baseline for every story that has ever been written. There's always a good guy and there's always a bad guy. These two terms are very important and have been around since the beginning of theater.